During Sunday breakfast, I smiled big. I'm so excited about our beach trip, I told everyone. Dad stopped eating and grinned mean. That trip is just for real family, not you. Everyone at the table started laughing loud. My brother giggled. My mom looked away like nothing was wrong. I didn't cry or yell. I simply got up, left my pancakes, and walked out the front door. 5 days went by. Then Mom tried to take $5,000 from our shared money jar. I pressed one button and stopped her. The count now had my words on it. Their phone started ringing crazy. Listen close. This story goes places they never saw coming. Long before that breakfast, before their mean words and the $5,000, there were many years of tiny hurts. Small things I forgave because we shared the same blood. I work as a nurse at the children's hospital. My days are simple, helping sick kids, writing notes, drinking lots of coffee, wearing scrubs that always smell like cleaning soap. Every weekend belonged to them. I would drive 1 hour to help fix their broken computer, pay for repairs they said they couldn't cover, or buy food when their wallet was empty. They would say thank you, take pictures together, but somehow always forgot I was even there. The real truth is I liked feeling helpful. It made me think they needed me around. But slowly, being needed became being used up. Rachel saw it happen first. She's smart, careful, the type of person who writes down every small detail before doing anything. Last winter she told me, "They only talk to you when something breaks or they need cash." I laughed and said no. I explained that family means helping even when it hurts. I said feeling bad was just how we showed we cared. She didn't smile back. Then the mountains happened. A short 4-day trip away from everything. Quiet, peaceful, no work stress. No phone calls starting with, "Can you please just..." I didn't share any pictures online, but my friend Sarah did. Just one photo of Rachel and me laughing near tall trees. That single picture was enough to start trouble. 2 days after getting home, angry messages flooded my phone. Jessica sent first. "Nice to see you, forgot we exist." Then Kyle wrote, "You're different now, not in a good way." And Mom's text hurt worse than everyone else's mean words combined. "We helped raise you, but when you're free, you disappear and act like we're invisible." They twisted a simple camping trip into me being a terrible person. By the next week, I became the bad guy in their made-up story. The daughter who ran away and left everyone behind. Rachel begged me not to go to that Sunday breakfast. She felt something bad would happen. But when Mom called sounding sweet and kind, saying it would be nice family time, I believed her words. I always trust too easily. That morning I brought fresh orange juice, nothing fancy, just something nice. I even practiced sounding happy in my car, figuring out how to say sorry without actually saying those words. I convinced myself maybe everything would go back to normal today. I didn't know yet that normal had already changed forever. I didn't understand that those same people smiling and waving were planning to embarrass me in front of everyone. But deep down I should have known, because whenever they said, "just family," what they really meant was, "not including you." The smell of syrup and bacon still makes my stomach feel weird. That morning the kitchen felt thick with something heavy, like everyone was waiting for something bad. Dad was cooking eggs, spatula in hand, acting like any regular Sunday. Kyle sat in his chair already eating his 3rd piece of toast. Jessica played on her phone like she was too bored to care. Mom was setting plates and humming a song. When I came inside with the orange juice, nobody seemed shocked, but nobody said good morning either. "Hi everyone," I said, trying to sound cheerful. "Food smells really good." "Thanks," Dad said without turning around. "We started without you." Translation in normal words. "You're late again." I sat down and tried ignoring how strange everything felt, like everyone knew a secret except me. Mom put a plate of pancakes in front of me. "So," she said, "how's Rachel doing these days?" "She's doing great," I answered, hoping that would end it. It didn't end anything. "That's good to hear." She smiled, but her eyes looked cold. No more questions, just thick silence, the kind that makes talking feel impossible. I looked at Kyle and tried asking about his new puppy. He made a sound like he didn't care. Jessica laughed a mean little laugh. Everyone else joined in. The laughter wasn't loud, but it felt sharp like tiny needles. I laughed too, pretending everything was fine and normal. Then I said the words that would blow everything up into a million pieces. I'm so excited about our beach trip. It was supposed to be easy talk, light words, nothing serious. Dad stopped moving for just a second, then laughed that fake loud laugh he uses before saying something cruel. That trip is just for real family, not you. The whole kitchen exploded with laughter. Kyle slapped the table hard. Jessica almost choked on her food. Mom lifted her coffee cup up high, smiling like she was celebrating something special. For one long moment I just sat frozen. My ears started ringing loud. Everything around me got smaller and fuzzy except the sound of forks hitting plates. I thought maybe someone would say they were kidding around. Maybe Dad would wink at me. Maybe Mom would tell him to stop being mean. But nobody did anything. It was planned. They wanted to watch me fall apart. I didn't give them that. I looked around at everyone sitting there, my own family. All of them laughing like leaving me out was the funniest joke ever told. I felt heat crawl up my neck and face. Then something colder washed over me, understanding. This wasn't the first time they hurt me on purpose, but it was the first time I saw what it really was, a show. They needed me to stay quiet, sorry, and useful. The easiest way to keep me there was reminding me that no matter what I gave, I would never truly belong with them. So I gave them something they didn't expect at all. Nothing. I nodded one time, staying calm. Okay, I understand, I said softly. Then I stood up slowly, left the orange juice sitting on the counter, and walked straight out the door. Their laughter got quieter behind me, replaced by birds chirping and my heart beating loud in my chest. Sitting in my car, I stayed still for a very long time before starting the engine. My hands were shaking, not because I was angry, but because I suddenly understood everything clearly. I had spent so many years buying things for them, covering their bills, fixing their broken messes. And with just one sentence, they showed me exactly where I belonged to them, on the outside looking in. By the time I drove home, my phone was already buzzing with new texts. You know Dad was just joking, right? Stop being so dramatic about everything. You always mess up good days. I didn't answer any of them. Instead, I opened my bank app, the shared account I stupidly kept open after years of their so-called emergencies. The numbers blinked back at me on the screen. I thought about closing everything right then, but I waited. Not yet. Part of me wanted to see how far they would push once they realized I wasn't reacting or responding. It didn't take very long at all. 5 days later, my phone lit up with a notice. Someone tried to take out $5,000. That exact moment was when the embarrassment turned into something completely different. Something quiet, sharp, and absolutely certain. If they wanted me outside their family, I would give them exactly what they asked for, completely and totally. The bank notice sat glowing on my screen like the punchline of a bad joke. Withdrawal attempt $5,000. Same shared account, same card I opened many years ago when Mom claimed she just needed help paying the electric bill. I should have closed it forever ago. But guilt keeps doors unlocked even when they should stay shut tight. I stared at those numbers until my phone screen went dark. My tea got cold sitting next to me. Somewhere between that awful breakfast and this exact moment, something inside me became perfectly still. No screaming, no panic, just a clean straight line inside my chest. I called the bank immediately and blocked the card. Right now, please, I said calmly. The worker asked if I wanted to report stealing. I almost laughed out loud. No, I said. It's just family. When the email came confirming everything, I opened the app again. The account name showed at the top, Emergency Help Fund. I pressed the edit button and erased every single letter. Then I typed 3 simple words instead. Pay without me. For a moment I just stared at it, those words that explained years of guilt and small cruelties all at once. Press save. 10 minutes passed. Then my phone started going crazy. Mom texted. Hey sweetie, did you do something to the account? Dad wrote. Your mother made a mistake, fix it immediately. Jessica sent. Haha wow. Kyle typed. Seriously, what's wrong with you? I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I took a picture of the account name, the failed money request, and sent it to our family group chat. No explanation, no extra words. Then I turned my phone over and went outside for a walk. The air felt hot and sticky like before a storm, but my mind felt perfectly clear and calm. For the first time in forever, I wasn't practicing apologies in my head. I wasn't planning how to make everything okay again. I was simply finished. When I came back inside, the group chat had exploded into 40 messages deep. Mom wrote, "This is completely ridiculous. We needed that money for Christmas shopping." Dad said, "After everything we've done for you." Jessica wrote, "Elmo, you're actually crazy." Kyle typed, "Grow up already." I read every single word slowly, then I archived the whole chat. Not deleted, just folded away like papers I might someday show a lawyer if needed. Rachel found me sitting on the couch, legs tucked under a blanket, staring at my dark phone. She didn't ask what happened. She just said quietly, "You finally did it, didn't you?" I nodded yes. I stopped paying for people who never saw me as part of their group. Outside, thunder rumbled low and slow across the sky. Inside, my phone vibrated again with another wave of messages I didn't bother reading. They wanted chaos and drama. I gave them complete silence instead. That's the thing about getting even. Not every explosion is loud and dramatic. Sometimes it's just a quiet click, followed by the sound of everything you owed finally disappearing into nothing. By the next morning, their panic had grown even bigger. When I checked my phone before work, I had 18 missed calls and a long string of messages bouncing between anger and begging. The family group chat had turned into a war zone of blame, each person pointing fingers at someone else for losing control of the money. Mom claimed she didn't realize the withdrawal was that much. Dad wrote, "This is childish behavior. You're embarrassing yourself." Jessica posted a laughing emoji followed by a screenshot of the bank rejection notice like it was some kind of funny family meme to share. I muted the entire conversation. By lunchtime at the hospital, Mom appeared outside my work building. The front desk person buzzed me. "There's a Mrs. Anderson here," she said. "She says it's urgent and important." I walked into the lobby, heart beating steady and calm. Mom stood there clutching her purse like it was a prop in a play she'd practiced all morning. "You blocked our card?" she asked, voice soft and shaking in all the right dramatic ways. "Yes, I did." She blinked fast, trying to make tears appear that wouldn't actually come. "We just needed it for holiday gifts for the family." I crossed my arms. "You tried taking $5,000 without even asking me first. It was for all of us, for the family." I smiled just a little. "You told me I'm not family, remember?" Her mouth opened, then closed again without sound. She wasn't expecting me to say that. "Sweetie," she said finally, "you're overreacting to everything. You're being so cruel and heartless." That word, cruel, hit harder than all the laughter ever did. 4 years they'd taken and taken, calling it love. Now me saying no was somehow cruelty. "I have to get back to my patients," I said calmly. "You should leave now." Her voice cracked when she said my name, but I turned and walked away before I could start caring again about her fake tears. That same night, I came home to Rachel setting out Chinese food containers on our small kitchen counter. "You doing okay?" she asked gently. I shrugged my shoulders. "They're falling apart." She smiled just a little. "Good, they deserve it." But their chaos didn't stop there at all. 2 days later, I came home from work to find my apartment door open just a crack. My first thought was I forgot to lock it that morning. My second thought when I heard voices inside was much worse and scary. Mom and Dad were standing right in my living room. Jessica was lying on my couch with her shoes off, scrolling her phone, eating my chips from a bag on the coffee table. "What are you doing inside my home?" I asked firmly. Mom turned around with that same practiced calmness. "You weren't answering our calls or texts." "Because you tried stealing my money," I said directly. Dad stepped closer, voice heavy with fake authority he doesn't actually have. "Watch how you talk to us. We're still your parents no matter what." "Then act like real parents should," I shot back. He made a disgusted sound. You've changed ever since you started living with her. Rachel appeared in the doorway holding our takeout bag like a shield. You broke into her apartment, she said evenly and calmly. That's against the law. This is family business, not yours, Mom snapped back meanly. I felt the last tiny thread of patience break completely inside me. No, I said firmly. This is called breaking and entering. They didn't move at all. Jessica laughed quietly without even looking up from her phone. You're such a drama queen about everything. I walked straight to the door and opened it all the way wide. Get out of my home right now. You're going to regret this so much, Mom said, eyes turning ice cold. I already do regret it, I said, then closed and locked the door behind them firmly. The silence after they left felt sacred and holy. Rachel sat down on the couch, shoulders tight and tense. They're not going to stop coming, she said worriedly. I know they won't. That same night, I called someone I hadn't spoken to in many years, my mom's younger sister Linda, the family's outcast and troublemaker. When she answered, she didn't sound even a little surprised. I was wondering when you'd finally call me, she said knowingly. She invited me to visit that exact same evening. Her tiny house smelled like fresh bread and old photographs. Before I could say anything, she handed me a thick folder absolutely stuffed with papers. Your mother's been tricking people for years and years. You're just the newest victim. Inside were records, old receipts, money transfers, even handwritten notes from times she'd borrowed cash from Linda and never paid back a single cent. $8,000 for fixing the house in 2015. Another $6,000 for a surgery that turned out to be a fancy cruise vacation instead. I felt sick to my stomach. She told everyone you were unstable and crazy, I whispered. Linda laughed hard. Of course she did. It's much easier to erase the truth when everyone thinks you've lost your mind. We stayed up for hours comparing our stories and experiences. The patterns matched perfectly like puzzle pieces. Borrow money, lie about it, make people feel guilty, then repeat forever. I can help you fight back, she said, pouring juice into 2 different colored glasses. But if we do this together, you need to be ready for them to hate you even more. I smiled for the first time all week. They already hate me anyway. The next few days felt like a quiet storm building. Linda's friend, someone who works checking money crimes, helped me cut every single tie I had with my parents. Bank accounts, emergency contacts, insurance papers, everything. I closed the last shared account, then sent one final message to the family group chat. A screenshot of the zero balance under the name, Pay Without Me. No explanation, no extra words, just complete silence. Kyle responded first. What the hell is this supposed to mean? Jessica followed quickly. You're actually losing your mind. Mom called my phone 8 times in 1 hour straight. I didn't answer a single call. The next morning, I woke up to my phone shaking non-stop with notifications. Linda had posted something online. Old photos of my parents at casinos holding fancy drinks. Date stamps showing the exact months they claimed to be completely broke and struggling. She didn't tag them or write their names. She didn't need to at all. Within minutes, cousins were texting me asking if the pictures were real. My father's brother messaged angrily. You've completely humiliated your poor mother. I just stared at my screen, feeling absolutely none of the guilt they were trying to force on me. That same evening, my mother showed up again, this time on my doorstep with her older brother Robert. He stood behind her like a bodyguard with arms crossed tight and sunglasses on even though it was almost nighttime dark. She looked exhausted, but strategically exhausted on purpose. We came here to talk calmly, she said sweetly. I stepped outside, closing my door firmly behind me. You really shouldn't be here at my home. Robert jumped in immediately. You embarrassed the entire family. That post online was completely out of line. I almost laughed at the irony. What's out of line is trying to drain my bank account empty. She made an honest mistake, he snapped back. She made a deliberate choice, I corrected him firmly. Mom lifted both her hands in fake surrender. We just want peace between us. We even canceled the beach trip. We thought maybe we could start completely over fresh. The same old game again. Pretend nothing happened. Reset the board and start over. I'm not going anywhere with any of you, I said clearly. If you show up uninvited again, I'll call the police and file a real report. Robert scoffed loudly. You'd actually threaten your own mother like that? I met his stare without blinking. No, I'm protecting my own life now. Mom's face changed completely. Shock first, then pity, then pure hatred. You've changed into someone ugly, she said like it was the absolute worst insult possible. I have changed, I said quietly but firmly. And I'm not even a little bit sorry. They walked away without saying another word. The porch light buzzed and flickered above my head. Inside, Rachel waited by the window with worried eyes searching my face carefully. It's not over yet, I told her honestly. They'll come back again. I was absolutely right about that. 2 days later, an email arrived from the hospital where I work. Notice of concern. Immediate response required. Someone had filed an anonymous complaint claiming I was emotionally unstable and dangerous, creating an unsafe environment for the children. I read it twice slowly, then looked up at Rachel with understanding. They found a new way to attack me now. She took my hand gently. Then we find a new way to end this forever. And this time I knew exactly how to do it. I didn't waste even 1 second. I called Linda immediately, forwarded the complaint email, and waited while she read everything. Anonymous complaint, huh? She said. Give me 1 day to investigate. By the next afternoon she called back with answers. Got her, she said simply and calmly. Your sister's home computer address, no protection, completely amateur hour. Relief didn't come all at once in a wave. Came slowly in small pieces. I brought everything together, emails, messages, screenshots, photos, to a lawyer Linda recommended strongly. Her name was Ms. Peterson. Calm and sharp-eyed. The kind of woman who doesn't even blink at family drama disguised as crimes. She flipped through all the pages carefully and said, We'll start with a protection order, temporary first, then make it permanent and lasting. It felt like breathing out after holding my breath for years and years. Within 1 week, the hospital board cleared my name completely. Human Resources apologized very quietly. My boss told me to take a few days off with full pay, of course. I said, thank you so much. But what I really meant deep inside was, finally it's over. Mom tried calling 1 more time. I didn't answer at all. Then 1 final text message came through. You'll regret cutting us out forever. Family is always forever. I deleted it immediately without a second thought. That same night, Rachel and I started packing boxes and planning. We found a brand new place to live. 3 bedrooms, sunshine that actually reached the wooden floor, a kitchen window looking out over a beautiful park. When the new keys turned in the new lock, I felt something loosen deep in my chest that had been tight and knotted for so many years. Linda came by with pizza and cheap soda. As we ate sitting on the floor, she said wisely, You know they'll probably keep talking badly about you. They always need someone to blame for everything. I smiled peacefully. Let them talk. I'm not in their story anymore. Later, when the very last box was finally unpacked, I opened my banking app 1 final time. The account still displayed clearly. Pay without me. I didn't change it back to anything else. It wasn't revenge anymore at all. It was a reminder to myself. A reminder that silence can be so much louder than any shouting. That walking away can echo more powerfully than any argument ever could. For the very first time in my entire life, I slept completely through the night. No phone calls, no buzzing notifications, no guilt eating at me. Just pure peace paid in full. 2 whole months later, I stopped checking their group chat altogether and completely. Actually, I didn't just mute it this time. I deleted it entirely. No final goodbye message, no explanation, just gone forever. The quiet felt strange at first, unusual and new. No more fake emergencies. No more guilt disguised as love and care. The kind of silence that once felt crushing and heavy now felt like complete and total freedom. On a Friday night, Rachel and I sat on the balcony of our new apartment together, A pizza box between us, cold drinks in our hands. The city lights twinkled below, warm and distant and peaceful. "Do you ever think they'll actually apologize?" she asked curiously. I shook my head no. "They'd have to believe they did something wrong first," I explained. She smiled warmly. "Then I guess you already won this fight." I looked down at my quiet phone. No missed calls, no unread messages. Just the words I'd left behind frozen in that old account. Pay without me. For once, I didn't feel angry or hurt. Felt completely free. They said I wasn't family. Maybe they were right all along. Because family shouldn't make you beg just to belong. So tell me honestly, if the people who call you family keep taking until there's absolutely nothing left, would you finally make them pay without you?